How are damages assessed in IP law? Now, calculating damages generally. The purpose is to compensate the plaintiff for the loss suffered because of the infringement. Now, the damages are calculated as the depreciation caused by the infringement to the property's value. We've got four key areas in intellectual property. We have copyright, which is the exclusive rights over the idea that is in material form. We've got trademark. This is a sign used to distinguish goods and services when registered. We also have designs. This protects the visual elements of the property, which also requires registration. And finally, patents, which protects the inventions after registration. For the most part, the way damages are assessed are similar due to the general principle mentioned earlier, and the court will actually take two approaches usually when calculating damages. These are the loss of sales approach and the license fee approach. Now, the loss of sales approach is very hard to prove as the respondent's sale needs to be proven as a lost sale for the applicant. In the case of Elwood, there was a claim for damages where the intellectual property rights over a t-shirt design was used by a competitor. Now, this case suffered from the tough evidentiary burden outlined earlier, and it didn't do too well for the applicant. However, Gordon J allowed for a framework in assessing these kinds of damages. Your first step is to assume the respondent sought the applicant's market share. The next step is to assume the respondent's sales were lost sales for the applicant. Now, that can get a bit excessive. So step 3, you discount this preceding assumption in a way that shows that not all sales for the respondent would have really been sales for the applicant. And finally, step 4, you discount individual unit sales where possible on the facts of the case. Now, the applicant needs to quantify the fact that their sales were lost to the respondent, which has been a real blocking for a lot of these types of damages. The next one is the license fee approach. Simply put, this approach has the court award damages to the applicant in a way that would cover a fair license fee had the respondent paid for such thing. The key issue here is where the applicant and respondents are competitors, it's not likely that the applicant would have allowed for such a license. So this damage is most appropriate where the respondent would have likely paid the fee over not using the work, but they didn't. Now, finally, we've got a few specific sections that impact and reduce damages for the 4 areas mentioned above. Under copyright law, we have section 115, which allows for damages, but note subsection 4. This allows for additional damages where there is flagrancy of the infringement, a need to deter similar infringements. It also looks at the defendant's conduct after the infringement occurred and when they were warned about the infringement. It also looks at whether or not the infringement involved conversion from hard copy to analog, like putting music from a CD to your computer. And it also looks at any other benefit the defendant receives from the infringement. And there's a general area that allows the court to consider all other relevant matters. Now, under section 115, subsection 3 of this Act, the Copyright Act, where a respondent establishes a lack of awareness of the copyright, the applicant may not be awarded damages. They can receive an account of profits, but that's a new topic for a new video. Now, under section 75 of the Designs Act, damages may be reduced or removed where the respondent was not aware but took reasonable steps to find out whether or not the design was registered. Patents have a similar section, and it plays out almost identically. However, trademarks, there's no such provision. However, under section 122 of the Trademark Act, where a trademark is used in good faith, or the respondent lodges a disclaimer, damages may not be awarded. However, there may still be an injunction. As per section 126 of the Trademark Act, if the trademark has not been used and should be removed, damages may not be awarded. Damages are calculated on a case-by-case basis. However, these were the guiding principles. Thanks for watching.